went and saw one here. I have another video from Bernard, the man from the Philippines, whom I did a video called The Aswang Paranormal Activities in the Philippines. That video actually did pretty well in the Philippines. Got a email from GMA7, one of their major news networks, and they wanted to interview Bernard and do a Halloween type story. Anyway, I set him up with them, and I don't really know what happened with that, but Bernard sent me another audio, which I'll let you listen to, and he also sent me some pictures of another experience, an abduction experience with reptilians, and these claims are pretty fantastic. So I want to look at these. This one is a little bit different because it starts from him basically dreaming, or he thinks that they actually took him, but it was from when he's in bed, and then he goes through these experiences and then he wakes up. But he really does think that he's taken, but maybe even if he wasn't physically taken, I think that these creatures can abduct you from just your consciousness, basically. And one of the reasons I say that is because of another story. I'm going to show you just a touch on this story anyway, and the debriefing that this man, a different man, had from the Rendlesham Forest case. He said that the government basically wanted to know his dreams every night for a few months. Every time that he went to sleep and woke up, they wanted to know, did you know what happened in your dreams? They were very, very interested in their dreams after they had this encounter with the UFO and these beings in the Rendlesham Forest, or the Bentwaters case, whatever you may know that case as, or maybe you have never heard of it, but it's a famous case, and we'll look at that. But the reason I want to touch upon that is because Bernard is saying that he went to sleep and then he dreamed and then he woke up, but he also is telling me that he thinks he was actually taken, but he cannot prove that. And then later down the road, he has some other abduction cases of his that he wants to share where he was not asleep. But I'm posing the question, did they abduct him physically, or did they just abduct his consciousness and took him for a ride and shown him things? And then even if this is a dream, I want to maybe even look at what the interpretation of a dream would be if he starts out in this underground cavern and different things like that. So let's look at the story, and then we'll talk about it a little bit, and then I'll let you listen to his audio that he sent of him telling his story straight out. But we'll kind of cover the story first and talk about it a little bit, and then listen to the audio. Be right back. 1994 in the Philippines. Bernard was staying with two sisters and a brother on Carino Avenue in Manila. Now he says, that night I had a dream that I was in a deep cavern where only I saw a ship with 3 legs with some sort of ladder going up towards the opening or a door. I noticed that the light is coming from above because I was seeing a shadow cast on the ground, and the ground was flat as if it had been flattened. Also, I noticed 2 of these strange beings by my side. These resemble the skin of reptilians. They do not talk, but I can hear their thoughts. On the left was a stern one, and on the right was an easygoing one with a good, easygoing attitude. That this being from the left told him to stop, but to do as he was told. These two beings escorted me to their ship. Upon arriving near the ship, there was another being that looked like them. Moments passed, and I was inside the ship. I was introduced to a high-ranking military official of their kind. We do not talk verbally, only through telepathy. The ship flew for a little while, and the hatch opened up from the bottom. I saw a light. It was a bright light, and the high-ranking official told me that we were in New York and pointed to the Empire State Building. Furthermore, he said, this place will be destroyed. In a little while, I saw myself looking at planet Earth. He pointed at it and said, take care of your home because it's the only one you have. I noticed we were standing on the moon without any sort of suit or breathing apparatus. Before waking up, I saw one of them give me a sign with their fingers, and they said, when you see us appear, you should make this sign so that we know that you have been with us. They are tall with scaly skin, like green and white. They have 4 long fingers and a opposing digit. The official has a cape. The encounter with those beings seems more like education rather than abduction. I felt no negativity of any sort. Yes, I have what people call abduction experiences that I will tell you about at a later time. So let's look at this dream. Basically, Bernard starts out in a deep underground cavern or base, and 2 reptilian beings escort him to a ship. One of the beings was stern, the other one was easygoing, and told the easygoing one to do as you're told. And then he is taken onto a ship, and on the ship he meets a high-ranking official. Then they fly to New York, and they show him the Empire State Building, and they tell him that this place is going to be destroyed. Then they fly him to the moon, and they show him the earth and tell him that he is to take care of this place because it's the only home that he has. And some people say that they are crystalline type buildings that are glass on the moon, that are basically bases that are clear and you can see through them and what have you. So from a dream perspective, let's look at what this would mean in a context of a dream. Now, in the Bible, Daniel interpreted dreams for Nebuchadnezzar. Joseph interpreted dreams for the Pharaoh. Angels came to Joseph, Jesus' father, in his dreams. Angels also came to other people in dreams in the scriptures, like the wise men or the magi. And so dream interpretation can be looked at, if you will. So if you were to have a dream and you were in a house and you are in your dream and you start off in the basement in the dream would represent hidden things, because the house represents your life. The areas in the house, like the bedroom, can represent intimacy in your life. The house would represent your life as a whole. and a basement would represent secret things or hidden things in your life. So if we were to look at that, starting off in a deep cavern in the earth, then it would be something hidden from the planet Earth or the people of the earth. So here he is in a deep cavern, and he's with reptilians, and reptilians, like the dragon or the serpent in the scriptures, would represent something of a demonic nature or a fallen nature, and it would be secretive or secrets that are hidden from mankind. And then he's taken to New York and shown a building such as the Empire State Building, and I think that that may represent the systems of this world, and here's these reptilians telling him that these are going to be destroyed. That's just a somewhat of a guess at what that might represent. But then he's taken to the moon, and the moon represents in the scriptures Lucifer. Okay, now he is shown the earth and comes off as something benevolent, and I'm sure that someone could look into this further and come up with much more, in a dream interpretation. But I thought it was awfully funny at the very end of this dream or abduction. He was told to make a sign with his fingers. They showed him a sign, and if you think about in the scriptures that you take a mark either in your forehead or in your hand. So if he is told to give some kind of sign with his hand, is he giving some kind of allegiance or an alliance with these reptilians, that he is to show them some kind of sign with his hands that basically say, you have been with us? So anyway, that's Bernard's story, and now we will listen to his audio that he sent and him telling his story.
Year 1994. I was in Quirino Avenue in Manila near Singalang Street, corner of San Andres. I was with my two sisters and a brother. That night I had a dream that I was in a deep cavern where the only thing I saw was a ship with 3 legs attached to it, and with some sort of a ladder going up the ship towards the opening or a door. I noticed that the light is coming from above because I was seeing a shadow cast on the ground, and the ground was flat as if it was being flattened. Also, I noticed 2 of these strange beings by my sides. They resemble the skin of reptilians. They do not talk, but I can hear their thoughts. On the left was a stern personality, and on the right was an easygoing one. That this being from the left told him to stop, but to do as they told. These 2 beings escorted me to their ship. Upon arriving near the ship, there was another being that looked like them. Moments passed, I was inside the ship. I was introduced to a high-ranking military official of their kind. We do not talk verbally, only through telepathy. The ship flew. In a little while, the hatch from the bottom opened, and I saw bright light buildings, and the high-ranking official told me that we are in New York, flying on top of some buildings, and pointed at me the Empire State Building. Further, he said, this place will be destroyed. In a little while, I saw myself looking at planet Earth. He pointed at it and said, take care of your home, because that's the only one you have. I noticed we were standing on the moon without any sort of suit or any breathing apparatus. Before waking up, I saw one of them gave me a sign that when they appear, I should make this sign with my fingers, and they would know that I had been with them. They are tall, with scaly skin like green and white. They have 4 long fingers. The opposing one is a thumb. The official has cake. The encounter with those beings seems like more of an education rather than an abduction. I felt no negativity of some sort. Yes, I had what people call abduction experiences that I will tell you in a later time.
So what do you think? Was Bernard really taken? Or Did these entities come to him in a dream? Are they fallen angels? Or are they from far off galaxies? Comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.